welcome to the 2016 Australasian Championships. Now we are here from the finals dinner, and of course, as you know, we are joined by rotating panel member guests, and I am very honoured to have the wonderful Simmy. Thank you for A, doing all the reffing, B, doing all the volunteer organising. I'm also joined by Azrael. Thank you just for being you in general. Of course, I'm joined by Method, who came fourth from the WA Sharks, and you can introduce yourself because, wow, you guys did well. How did you guys do with your third place?
We were ecstatic with our result. Truly, we weren't expecting to get into the finals, but we're pretty happy.
Now, I'm really curious. You guys were up against Cobras and Maroons, who are both seasoned teams. How did you guys feel going into that as the third place?
Look, we were nervous and we were happy with third, but we gave it our best shot. We only came within like 2K, so we're pretty happy with that.
Now, I'm also very curious, as being a new team and as being the new guys kids on the block, how do you guys feel you're going to do next year? Are you keeping the same team? Are you guys going to put up a basic pose for those at Adelaide 2017?
We're definitely confident we'll be there. I'm not sure if it'll change the 5, but we'll see how we go.
Okay. Now, of course, we're also joined by the fourth place team, who happen to be the Ghost Bears, unfortunately. We are joined by Method from the WA Sharks. Now, you guys had 2 shots, I believe, at the Golden Game?
Two.
Yep. Now, how do you guys feel about that, missing out twice?
We were quite disappointed considering how we had quite a good tournament, to be honest. But yeah, we just missed out, only by a little bit both times, really, and a bit unfortunate, but that's just how the tournament goes sometimes.
Yeah. We're also, of course, joined by Azrael, as mentioned before. Now, you guys finished, I believe it's 11th?
10th, we're fantastic. Don't insult me.
Wow.
Yeah. And Simmybear, where did your team end up?
We ended up 24th, which was a bit above the 29th that the dumb sink list gave us.
As always, I'm biased on the panel. Now, apart from that, what I'd really like to talk about, we have heard the awards now. We've had who's win. Now, how did you guys, first of all, think about the solos event? Butzer took it out, just another trophy to his many list of them. Did you even make solos finals?
I made it to round 3 and I was doing very well in round 3 and then a system crash. Ooh. And then the second game, I didn't go too well. But
how do you feel those system crashes? Are they actually fair to the competition, or what do you think actually impacts that on the players themselves?
I personally think that it happens. Like, I've gone over my anger, so yeah, it happens. It happens.
Now, did you make it to solos finals, Method?
Yeah, I did. I actually ended up coming 5th overall.
Ooh, just behind me, unfortunately.
Yeah, just behind you, so you managed to win that one. Solos was fun, and I actually thought I was in chance for a placing, but unfortunately didn't happen
thought
again.
you kicked my ass personally,
Yeah.
but never mind.
That was very tough. I thought you were kicking my ass.
Now, did you actually realise at the time that Butzer won it, or who would your pick have been?
Well, I was near Butzer's area, so I had a pretty good idea that he was shooting a lot of people. So I had a feeling Butzer had won it. I had no idea Fitzy was scoring as well as he did, but I did see Ninja Jim and yourself doing quite well in the area I was in.
Now, you guys unfortunately did not make it to solos finals, but would you have picked Butzer to win?
Well, I wasn't really watching because I was at Movie World instead because I pulled out. So he won a lot of trophies last year and it's his home arena. So I'm going to assume Boots is just going to keep stealing trophies and points from wherever he can get because he loves his Helios.
Yeah. Simmybear, would you have picked Butzer to win solos?
Well, I was running the event, so I only saw everything from the back end. So even when it came down to working out who won, I had a piece of paper over the names, so I couldn't give anything away about who actually won. But when Butz did live in WA, he did win all the trophies. So it's no surprise that he's taken out some more trophies here today.
Couldn't have given me a few extra points.
No, I would have rather terminate you, Minnie. But you are the new Sinclair, 4th place.
Oh, that's a rough call.
It is a rough call.
And in case you guys at home don't know, Sinclair is the person who's claimed 4th, and I pretty much believe every single event there is.
I'm pretty sure he has as well.
Yeah, he's also the one whose 6 list is named after. He used to do a review of each team before the Nationals event, and that legacy does live on in his honour. Now, the other thing I'd like to talk about is the doubles event. Now, do you know who took it out yourself?
Sorry?
Do you know who took out the doubles event?
No idea. No.
It was Dark Passion and Four Eyes who took it out.
Yes, that is after a bit of a review of the scores where I believe Butzer was announced first for doubles, but then it got reversed and Dark Passion won for doubles.
No, I think it was second and third that actually got changed. Yeah, so Dark Passion and his teammate happily got through. They had a great game, so I'm quite happy considering that they're a mixed team between Brisbane and New Zealand. But otherwise, I think second and third got switched, so luckily they managed to stay the top spot.
Now, how do you feel about that controversy that wrong names are sometimes announced? How do you feel that actually sets us back as a competition?
Well, we're still in very much the baby steps of our sport, so we are still ironing out a lot of things. For instance, the volunteer council and all that sort of stuff, we made major strides working out a lot of the bureaucracy of that, and we are still absolutely developing as a baby sport, essentially. As I said, we've made a lot of progress. We ran into some issues. Doug's idea of having a list of lessons learned is invaluable in so many ways, and I hope for Adelaide Nationals, which is very soon, will pretty much help us avoid a lot of controversies and issues like this.
Now, before moving on to the other finals winners, I'd like to quickly talk about the volunteer program. Now, Simmy, I believe you were in charge of it this year.
I wasn't in charge of it, but I certainly was behind the idea. Oh, that's not probably the right word. Last year in Bendigo, it took a lot of stress out. So it was one of the ideas of the lessons learned that came out in, I believe, Doug's documents and from just those of us that were exhausted. So it was important to me that it ran well this year. We've had a few hiccups and we've had a few things not go the way we would like. So we've got a lot of things to learn from, and I've been documenting and Doug has been documenting the whole time, and some of the others, of what we really need to tighten up. And there is a possibility of ethics codes need to come into about the players that are going to be standing behind that counter and doing things. And we also need to make sure we put checks and balances in place once we get these results. So we have a second person signing off. So there was nothing major that went wrong. It's just a few teething problems. So we should be able to sort them out on the committee this year.
Now, you guys are actually both elected to the committee to 2017. Congratulations, first of all. And the second thing is, what are you guys actually going to change? What are your main ideas for the 2017 Nationals, which will be held in Adelaide very generously, by the way?
Well, first off, I'm very surprised I got on the committee because I don't know why anyone likes me.
We don't either.
I'm going to be honest. I'm a terrible person.
You are a terrible person.
We agree with that, yes.
But in all seriousness, I do believe in the sanctity of the sport, and I'm very much hoping to develop that along the lines of discouraging aided play, for instance, cheating, covering, that sort of stuff as much as possible. Early on in the competition, when I thought I could make changes, I was a big proponent for really nailing down on some of our reffing for covering, because Simmy will probably correct me about these numbers, but I think we gave 139 verbals for covering in the first Cascades, I think.
Okay, first and second Cascades we gave 139. So the end result was about 180 verbals to about 16 actual terminations. So there's something there in the rule that we need to change, because that is we would have expected to see one verbal to every four termination. Four verbals to every one termination, but we didn't. So,
well, that's stuff to work on next Nationals, correct. And I believe you guys will both do an amazing job on that. Now, the most current issue, of course, is what happened this Nationals with the placings. Now, you yourself were a member of this year's Nationals finals. How did you guys think it went?
I think it did pretty well. Yep. Did well.
Now, you guys, in case everyone doesn't know, first place did end up going to the Maroons, second place ended up going to the New Zealand Cobras, and third place ended up going to you guys with the Wolfpack. Now, being the captain of A, new team, and B, being your first Nationals for any of you guys, no one expected you guys to do as well as you did despite pre-Nationals results. How did you guys feel when you actually made that point?
When we made it, we were ecstatic. Like, seriously, we've got so much we can improve on, and that we know that we can improve on. So, look, I'm excited for next year. Yep.
Now, as a team who didn't make it, you guys finished just above Ghost Bears, which was in 4th place. You're one away from making the finals. How did that goes make you feel, especially as being a reformed team? Because you guys were the Jets last year. This year you combine with some of the members of Raiders, as well as some of the members, the member of Hybrid. How do you guys feel about not making finals?
Well, it was very disappointing. I mean, there's no other way to put it. We had 2 shots at the Golden Games, we didn't make it, so that was just very sad. Otherwise, the team played really well, so that's a lot of benefits to take from it. Hoping to come back strong next time. Otherwise, it was a great season. Just sad not to make it, really. One thing we're aiming for.
Now, I would also like to talk about the fact that Queensland pretty much dominated every single event there was at this Nationals. Don't get me wrong, it was their home Nationals. They are expected to win a lot more of the competition than regular. How did you guys personally feel about such a Queensland domination?
I'm going to fight them for all the trophies, the rights to all of them. I'm pretty sure I can take Beefy. Doesn't look that quick.
You may be able to get Wooldot, but the rest of them, yes.
I don't know. And they didn't get all of them. We managed to carry away at juniors
Yes.
for the first year ever. And Lauren was amazing. The whole way through the comp, she was going... She eclipsed us. Robin, her boyfriend, who's also on my team, eclipsed him, eclipsed me. I was terrible. I was walking around. I don't even know how to hold it with 2 hands, really. I've done a briefing once. I'm not really sure.
Goddamn him.
But Brisbane has done really, really well. No one's really surprised. There's some fantastic up-and-coming league players. We had a chance to play some league. Wolfpack developed out of league, I believe, with Boots' tutelage, which I'm sure some of the other teams are less than amazed about. And Brisbane's just done fantastically, honestly. Amazing group of players. It'll be interesting to see how they fare coming off of this win into a completely unknown maze, because it's never been to Adelaide, and all the teams that did really well, I'm wondering how well they can actually hold their positions. If they even attend, I'd love to see people driving. It'll be amazing. We'll go for 60 teams, blow Bendigo out of the water, put nationals over like 6 months. We'll do the whole hog. It'll be fine. Free alcohol for everyone over 18. Free gummy bears for everyone under 18. It'll be amazing. I'll see you all there.
We're going to give away mini.
Now, so speaking about the women's event, you were, of course, in a participation of the women's event. I believe you are the first one, or one of the first ones.
One of the first 3.
One of the first 3 to crack both women's and masters. Now, that's quite an accomplishment. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
So there have been a few women in the past that have actually given it a go and completing all 10 games and haven't made it all the way through. So there were 3 of us this year. Chappie from Canberra, Nessie Carr from Werribee, and myself. So we gave a good run at it, and I did complete out all 10 games. It did affect my game in women's, unfortunately. I think it's the first time I've dropped outside of the top 7 because I was being a little lazy. But that's okay, because after this year I plan to drop women's and I'm going to straight for masters to be the first. Hopefully, I'll be the first woman to get a Masters trophy, just to go along with all my other first of girl things that I've done.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Yes, thank you.
Now,
Someone does.
The other thing I'd quickly like to touch on, you guys did in fact have the first juniors winner in Chun. I believe I'm pronouncing that wrong. Chunch.
That was amazing what you just said.
You're welcome.
Her alias is pronounced Chuch. We have trouble with it as well because
Church
she
or
decides...
Chuch?
Chuch.
Chuch, not Church.
Chuch. Very, very easy. She does admittedly decide to change it every 10 minutes, but that's just the kind of girl she is.
Okay, now you guys, we did have the first first juniors winner in Church. You guys had a lot of people competing in that event as well. How do you guys feel losing out to Church?
Church was really good. Like, a few times I'd come up against her, I couldn't touch her. Like, I give it to her. But yeah.
I really hope so. Yes.
She did well.
And any thoughts on the development of the juniors event as well as the women's event, and especially with such a new young Adelaide player? How do you think she'll be in her home maze itself?
Got to be fantastic, right? Home maze is such a huge advantage. With the juniors event, it's great that we're just developing new events for people to partake in, have fun, and just have fun. That's all I really care about. Otherwise, I just want to give a quick shout out to Courtney for coming 4th, just really to wrap up the WA just outside trophies. It was a fantastic effort by her.
Okay, that's pretty much all we have time for on the panel. We are joining you from the finals event, but before we'd like to finish it off, I'd just quickly like to talk a little bit more about the team event, as it is the blue ribbon competition. Now, of course, as we said before, the Maroons did finish first, Cobras did finish second, and unfortunately Wolfpack did finish third. Before we start talking about, first of all, congratulations. You've led a brand new team into a finals. You beat myself and, of course, Method, which will probably beat you up in the parking lot for. But apart from that, do you feel the pressure for next year in terms of actually winning that event or even placing?
Yeah, we definitely have expectation next year, as away from home as well. So we'll be tested.
Any final thoughts on the blue ribbon event where Maroons, of course, did finish first again?
I think it'll be a very interesting event in Adelaide. Adelaide haven't played their strongest team, so they'll be interesting to play against, and it'll also be a lot of fun. And I don't know how the Brisbane teams will go now it's not their home maze, so hopefully we can beat them.
Before I ask you guys about the blue ribbon team event, Tim, it is your home site next year, it is Adelaide. Will the Respawn team, who did take third in 2015 Bendigo, be reforming?
It's unclear at this moment. Basically, going into Brisbane, we wanted to split up and train the teams middle tier up as much as we could to give everyone an even idea of what to expect. We took a couple of first years, including my site operator this year on my team, and we blew our expectations out of the water. So we did way more impressively than I had even hoped. If we get back together, I'm sure we'll see a pretty big result from us and we'll give it our all. If we don't, I think we're still going to field some very powerful teams in our home arena after we make some competitive modifications and train up a bit more.
And of course, Simmy, how did you feel about the final results? Maroons got their second win in a year now, 2 in a row. That's unestablished before. They are going for...
No, it's not.
Wank, I believe, yes?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
And TA, and that's amazing. Another WA team, just in case.
They are going for 3 in a row next year, despite Dark Passion winning in 2014 Nationals in New Zealand. He was not part of the Maroons team. How do you think they're going to go next year? What do you think the results will actually change?
Oh, look, Maroons have been pretty strong since, I think, 2010, so since Darwin. So they've been up there in the top 5 for that long. So it would be not... I wouldn't expect them to drop much out of the top 5 at all. They probably will make a finals again. Whether they actually have enough stamina to take it out away from home, I don't know. But if anything, the last couple of years has go by, they've still got another one in them.
Thank you guys for joining us all throughout Nationals. I am Liam Minnie Smith. Thank you for joining the panel. We will be back next year, of course. And thank you guys for all being a part of this finals night. I know there's much other things you'd rather be doing. Thank you guys at home for viewing, and hopefully you enjoyed it. See you guys next year.